Alright, hello and welcome to my tutorial for my minimum spanning tree add-on for Blender. With this add-on you're able to create spanning trees over particle systems to generate structures like these vines over here. This was originally developed to simulate neuron structures in Blender, but it can be used for many different things like vines following a surface, like over here. Alright, so how do we use this? Let's load up a new file real quick. First thing you want to do after installing the add-on is activating it. So going to add-ons, search for the MST, minimum spanning tree add-on, activate it. And then you're going to see over here in the tools section the minimum spanning tree panel. Now to create a tree we mostly use particle system. I'm going to create one for this object here real quick. Make sure you set the end frame for the emission to 1 so we can see all the particles at once. And also in this case I'm going to use volume and no physics, and also a bit less particles. So these are our points for our tree. And now to create the tree we just select the object and the particle system over here in the minimum spanning tree panel, and then we can just create a tree. Now over here we have all sorts of different settings to choose from. The most important one is the balancing factor. The balancing factor decides how much center-oriented or root-oriented the tree is going to be. For example, if I'm going to choose a higher balancing factor like 90% and then create my tree, you can see that the tree is much more oriented towards the center. Or if I'm going to choose a balancing factor of 0, it will not be oriented towards the center at all and just be a pure Euclidean minimum spanning tree. Alright, next up I'm going to show you how to create those vines you saw at the beginning. For that we're going to create a new plane and subdivide it a bunch of times. So we can use the weight paint to draw the rough shape of our tree. For example, like a triangle shape, like this. And then we're going to create a particle system, just like before, maybe 100 particles. This time we emit on faces, no physics again, and this is important, the vertex group for density will be our vertex group, so the particles are only showing up where we painted the vertices. So the root of a tree is always going to be at the 3D cursor, at least if we have the option selected over here. So if we now choose the object and the particle system, we can create our tree like this. It's really simple, but we can use a lot more options to create realistic looking things. For example, we can add a thickness to the tree. We can set the scale and the offset of the thickness over here, and you can see this creates a thicker branch and thinner leaves. We can also randomly spin the points before we create the tree to make a 3D object, because the weight paint does not work on 2D on volumes, so we have to spin the points in before, like this. So now we have a 3D tree. Alright, over here we have an example of a dendrite structure created with the minimum spanning tree add-on. This dendrite was created using curves instead of meshes, so you can see how the tree is more smoothed out. You can choose the build type over here. This was not created using weight paint, but with overlapping objects to create more particles in the upper and lower area. Here we have another example, again with vertex paint. Here are more particles on the outer rim than on the inside to create a this dendritic circular structure. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. All the links are in the description. Thanks for watching.